You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Blog Talk Radio.
World won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me.
Welcome to What's New with VHHughes. I am your host, Venus Henderson-Hughes. As always, we have my co-host, Vanessa Henderson, on the line. What's new with you, Vanessa?
I'm good, and you?
Good. So this week, I decided to, because it's Women's Health History Month, let's talk about menopause. And not just menopause, but the hormone replacement therapy that goes right along with it. The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the ins, the outs. What do you say?
Well, I said that most women thrive to get to menopause, so I hear. Especially out here in Arizona. A lot of women out here in Arizona, they live for it. But then in that sense, it makes me wonder, because now the menopause rate has changed. They're becoming younger and younger, so it makes me wonder how many people are still thriving for it with the effect of kids.
Well, and for those of you who don't know what menopause is, it is the normal change of life, or as I grew up, it was called the change. But what happens is menopause is a normal change in a woman's body that happens, and it usually happens between the age of 45 and 55 years old. And a woman has reached menopause when she has not had a period for 12 months in a row. So that is the definition of menopause. There is a perimenopause, which is that beginning stages of it where you have the fluctuation of the periods and things like that, still sort of carrying you over into the menopause area. But today we are focusing on menopause and hormones. So,
okay, and just to go off of that, not having a period 12 months in a row, now there are some instances where some people don't have it because of birth control, so that doesn't necessarily mean you're in menopause.
No, that's not that classification. Those are chemically induced losses of periods. We're talking
right,
about
what I'm
the
saying
natural
is, that doesn't mean that you're in menopause if you don't see it, because I don't see mine 12 months in a row. So, yeah.
No, we're talking about when your body has said, we're done. We are no longer sending those eggs on down the way. We're done. So that's exactly where we're at with that. So when I think of menopause, or when I thought of menopause growing up, I always thought of an older lady who has, had all of her children, if you will, and she no longer has it. And a lot of people sort of made menopause out to be this changing of the woman into the evil, throwing stuff around person, and not all women go through menopause that way. I think it's an unfair stereotype. And yes, there are some hormonal changes that happen with it, but it may not be as extreme for every woman. There are other things that happen within the body as well that women deal with, such as
hot flashes.
Hot flashes are a part of menopause for some, but not for all. Menopause is not a one-size-fits-all change. It's not. There are people who have hot flashes not only at night, but just throughout the day. I remember my mother.
Or the chills.
She'd be walking down the street, and it could be a spring day, and she would be pouring sweat. So definitely it's not a one-size-fits-all change that happens for all women. Some of the things, besides the whole changes in your period and hot flashes or hot flushes, the getting warm in the face, the neck, or the chest, night sweats, and sleeping problems, which lead to, being tired or stressed or being tense, vaginal changes that happen. The vagina thins out. And sex can become painful. It becomes dry, and that's why they have so many products out there where you have to use the lubricants or whatever because everything is dry down there. You're thinning of your bones. You start losing, height.
Now, is that why the estrogen shots come into play when it comes to menopause?
This is where they come into the whole estrogen replacement therapy, and some people take it and some people don't. Now, I remember when my grandmother, she went through menopause, and of course, estrogen replacement therapy wasn't a big thing then. So she didn't have all of that. They did try later on after she, went to the doctor, and they tried to sort of put her on Premarin and things like that. But it was sort of pointless to me because, she had already transitioned through menopause and came out pretty well. So,
and then you didn't take them either.
I did not take estrogen replacement therapy. I was, for me, yes, I've been through menopause. For me, I was suggested to go on birth control pills, so to do that as my hormonal therapy, if you will. But I didn't like the way they made me feel. I hadn't had to be on a birth control pill in years, and to put all those synthetic hormones within me just didn't make me feel, and it was sort of a way my doctor was sort of trying to slow down the process as well. So she figured that if we did the hormone replacement therapy or the birth control therapy, if you will, it would sort of slow down the process of me going into menopause. But I welcomed it. I was one of those people who welcomed it because I had horrible periods. So for me, whereas that periods where I didn't have cramping like some women had, I just had a huge overflow. So for me, not having a period was a celebration. and definitely I knew what I was going into by accepting I had all my kids, so I didn't have to worry about, well, what if I decide to, have another child. I was pretty much through with that, so really didn't make me any, never mind. If you want to join the conversation, give us a call at area code 347-826-7959. So, question goes, who needs treatment for symptoms of menopause? Now, that's just stupid. That's a stupid question, but it's here. But, the thing is it basically says that some women do and some women don't. Now, when it comes down to it, when it came down to my symptoms of menopause, I really didn't have all the extremes. I think the most thing that I really had was basically the fluctuation of being, angry and mellow. So my hormones were in that quarter, the little cycle, roller coaster or whatever. Not so extreme with the angry part of it, but angry nonetheless. I had no idea, and it would flip like a switch. You just flip the switch on, and I'll be mad about something. Nobody knew why. I didn't even know why, but I was mad. So that was, that was my thing. I really didn't have the whole night sweats per se, but I kept the fan on constantly, and I still keep a fan on in my room, as a matter of fact. But not because of night sweats, but I just like a cold room. I don't know what it is. That's just me. But some people have the extremes. Like I said, my mom was truly extreme with the sweating. It was just sweat would pour down like rain. So some women have that. You go beyond the whole, as some of the ladies say, having their personal summer, if you will. But I didn't have that. I know I had moments where my skin would be, warm to the touch or whatever, what have you, but it was never to the extreme where I was like super uncomfortable like some ladies. some ladies have symptoms that are so extreme that they have to go on estrogen or progesterone therapy so that they can sort of get their hormones in check. Some ladies have such vaginal dryness that, you know, when they use different washes and things like that, it throws everything off in their vaginal area and they get infections. I mean, those are just it just depends. Nothing is sort of concrete for each person.
Does that go the same for outer appearance too, right? Like, because I know some people change, like in the face, like, because
some people gain weight, some people lose weight. Some people, their skin thins out. I remember that when I first got to menopause, my fingers, I think my skin on my fingers were super thin, and I remember that I took my fingernail across it, and my finger bled. My nails weren't that sharp, but my skin was just that thin, and I had no idea because my hands looked the same, but there was a change in my body that made my skin so thin that I could literally take my fingernail and cut my own finger, and that was not a good thing for me. So what is hormone replacement therapy? Supposedly, this is the approved medicine for relief of hot flashes, night sweats, and vaginal dryness. Now, there are holistic ways to deal with this. Black cohosh is one of the ways to deal with not going through hormonal replacement therapy. I have some wonderful naturopaths that I know that can help you with getting onto the holistic way of dealing with your menopause instead of going through the medicine or the FDA way of doing it, and it may be better for you. There are soy supplements out there that help with menopause, and truthfully, I did try some of the over-the-counter remedies when I first, because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to go out and you're supposed to pick you out some medicine or whatever, and it was supposed to make everything just go wonderfully. However, the soy made me sick. It made me sick to my stomach.
Dealing with menopause, I'm hearing so much about it. They also say that certain foods can lead to a faster rate of going through menopause.
I'm not aware of that. I know that when you look at menopause, you sort of look at menopause the way you look at a young lady's period. So around the time that, like, a young lady has her period, when she has a daughter, her daughter should probably have a period around that same amount of time. So, it just sort of falls in line. I don't know why that is, but it doesn't happen always. But, like, my first period was in the 6th grade. So, and I believe that my daughter sort of went around that area.
Because I was 10.
So around that, it's not necessarily in that same. Well, on the flip side, my mother had already went through menopause before she passed away, and she was 50 when she passed away. So, and I've already went through it, and I'm 41. So there you go. So it just depends on how everything. Now, I don't know how old my grandmother was when she went through menopause. She had did that dance before I came on the scene. But I heard some stories about it and her behavior about it. But definitely I know that it does there is a pattern that is created. Now, I know that the vaginal dryness part, I went through that in the first parts of everything. Now it seems like everything is in overflow. So they don't tell you that. Now, what I did find out, and I remember when I was working with my trainer, and I explained to my trainer, especially because I was in the beginning parts of my menopause, how I didn't want to do estrogen replacement therapy for my own reasons, and not because of all the links to cancer and things like that, but because I'm just not a pill taker, And I just didn't want to take a pill. I didn't want to do all that. I wanted to find natural ways. And one of the things that was suggested to me was, of course, drinking more water. It sounds crazy. Like, you drink some water. What? What is water supposed to do? But drinking the water, of course, water flushes us out. Water, of course, we're from water. Was it 75% of us is water or something like that? So because of the fact that, we have so much water in us, putting more water in us, flushing our systems out, did help with hot flashes, believe it or not. So he knew what he was talking about, of course, but it just seemed so weird. And I'm not just talking about that standard 8 ounces, was it 8 glasses of water? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just drinking enough water. You're going to be drinking over a gallon of water because of the fact is that and that water is going to help cool your body. So you won't have that thing where you are like, oh my God, it's so hot in here, whew, and everybody looking at you like you're crazy because they freezing and stuff like that. And I've seen it happen because, of course, some of the buildings I used to work with, I swear penguins was going to be walking around the floor, and yet you would see some women where they would literally have their fan on their desk because they hot, and that's from menopause. That's the hot flashes and things like that. So, what are some of the benefits of hormone replacement therapy? It's supposed to, again, relieve the hot flashes and the night sweats, but it also says it reduces the chance of thin, weak bones, which is, of course, osteoporosis. Again, I think each person would do this to their own discretion. I'm not saying that we at H3P are against hormone replacement therapy or not. I think that each person can make that their own choice for themselves, whether it's a benefit to them or not. I'm not saying that, it's a bad thing or a good thing. I think that with anything, as I say on this show, educate yourself. Don't go out there if your doctor tells you that you got to go on hormone replacement therapy. Don't just jump at the chance to do it. Do your own research. Not every opinion is 100% true for every situation. And that's why you're supposed to seek out other opinions. So now that we talked about the benefits, let's talk about some risks. Okay? And there are plenty of risks, and one of the main risks that, was out there plenty of times was, of course, cancer. Adding that hormone into your body, especially I think one of the main ones was Premarin, people were developing cancer. Another part that was sort of not really talked about were blood clots. We heard so much about cancer, and blood clots could have been right there with it, but cancer took precedence, and of course, because everyone is definitely afraid of cancer. They don't want to hear cancer. They call it the big C and things like that. So, that was the main thing. But there are other things that are linked to it. Heart attacks. I don't recall anything about heart attacks.
No. And going back to the blood clots, was that just in the vein, or was that in specific areas?
It doesn't say, but they have that. Strokes is on the list.
Wow.
Breast cancer and gallbladder disease. And then it says for women with a uterus, estrogen increases her chance of endometrial cancer.
Right, endometriosis.
No, not endometriosis, endometrial cancer. Cancer of the uterine lining. And adding progestin actually lowers the risk of getting this, but it is definitely something. So I'm actually coming from two references. I have the reference from the Department of Health and Human Services, but I also have a reference from the Office of Women's Health. And so in the Office of Women's Health, it says women should not take hormone therapy if they think they are pregnant, have an unusual vaginal bleeding, have or have had blood clots, have certain cancers such as breast or uterine, have liver problems, or have had a stroke or a heart attack in the past year. So these are some forewarnings, if you will, to think about with regard to whether or not hormone replacement therapy is for you.
Now, I'm going to be America for a minute. Now, if they actually did this hormone replacement, and, the hormones are supposed to be natural, but with all these side effects, what is the difference between what the hormones that they want to replace you with compared to what you have already or what you're losing?
Well, when you go through menopause, because in essence our hormones are made through our eggs. So when everything stops, we stop producing estrogen naturally. So we have the synthetic. When we're doing hormone replacement therapy, we're adding a synthetic estrogen, man-made estrogen for America, into our bodies. And we all know man-made things have side effects
and flaws.
So because of this, and it's coming into something's man-made when it was naturally, being made by our body, there could be side effects.
Okay.
So this is what's happening.
So this is like the global warming of our bodies.
I wouldn't say all that, but the three types of hormone replacement therapy medications are estrogen-only medications, which would be the Premarin that was giving everybody so many problems back in the day, progesterone-only medications, or a combination of estrogen and progesterone. And I guess they're saying basically the best combination would be the combo with the estrogen and progesterone, because of less side effects. What else do we have here? So here's a list of, they have an actual list of the different medications on here, and these medications can come in various different forms. So you have patches, you have pills, you have injections, you have gels, you have skin creams, you have vaginal inserts, you have a spray, a skin spray, you have a vaginal ring, and a vaginal tablet. So yeah, it's different things here that actually can be used.
Vaginal tablet. What is that?
A vaginal tablet is basically, and it comes with an applicator, and you just shoot it up there, and it basically dissolves in the area. Same thing as the vaginal insert as well.
Oh my goodness.
So, and then of course the vaginal cream. That's just the cream that goes up there. They have actual skin creams that don't necessarily go into the vagina area. They actually, go through your skin the regular way, and it's just absorbed through the body. So you don't So you don't have to, put it in your vagina per se. And a lot of women probably prefer that because, again, your vagina area is getting thinned out, so to speak. So you're adding that pill or whatever that could cause some irritation, especially if you have a reaction to it. So those are benefits. And I know when I worked in the pharmacy, there were compounds, if you will, made to help some of these ladies with some of the side effects of menopause. I'm not going to say side effects, but the conditions that come with menopause. And they swore by a lot of those creams, and some of them couldn't even live without them. I mean, they literally had to continually fill their prescription so that they could have relief. So side effects of using the medications, besides, of course, our risk and benefits: painful or tender breasts, stomach cramps, spotting, weight gain, upset stomach or nausea, and hair loss.
Sounds like birth control, minus the hair loss.
Yeah, it sounds like birth control, or it sounds like pregnancy as well, minus the hair loss. So definitely comes with that. Some less common but serious side effects that comes with using the medication: breast lumps, unusual bleeding, unusual vaginal bleeding, dizziness, fainting, problem seeing, severe headaches, chest pain, shortness of breath, pains in legs, and vomiting. So, this has been really interesting. But here's something that I don't think a lot of ladies think about as far as what's the questions that they should ask their doctor when they're presented with menopause. Number one, are hormones right for me? And why? I think we get so, and I know that there are some people that just don't trust anything that doctors say, but there are others who really take everything that doctors say for the gospel truth and they just run with it and don't even think about the fact that they have other options. So that's the question. Are hormones right for me, and why? What are the benefits and the risks? That one there, which is one of the main reasons, or one of the main questions I asked when I took my grandmother to the doctor, because she had been through menopause. Why would you want to put her through hormone replacement therapy and she's already done? She's not having any hot flashes. Why are we going to do this? We're going to think about this. Next one is, what are the side effects? You know, how harsh are the side effects? And that's when that one's not listed, but that's something to think about. How harsh are these side effects? Can I actually work with these side effects? How long should I use hormone replacement therapy? That one there, that one's a doozy. Because some people use it for years. Because if they're without it, then all the side effects come back of menopause, and they can't function. What is the lowest dose that will work for me? I don't think I've ever heard anybody ask that question ever.
No.
Ever. And the last one is, are there other things that I can use or do? You know, that is something to think about. We just can't, just say, okay, doctor, load me up. I'm ready. So another one question is, should I use estrogen just to prevent thin bones? Now, of course, we do have medications out there to help with osteoporosis. Of course, taking vitamin D helps. Calcium with vitamin D helps with strengthening our bones and making sure that everything. So there are all kinds of things that we can do instead of running with. We're going to take these hormones and we're going to take them for 3 years and then we're done. Here's a question. Should I use hormone therapy to prevent memory loss or Alzheimer's disease? And these questions are just facts from the FDA, the Department of Health and Human Services, and their answer is no. Do not use hormone therapy to prevent memory loss or Alzheimer's disease. Do hormones protect against aging, wrinkles, or increase my sex drive? So it says studies have not shown that hormone therapy prevents aging, wrinkles, or increases sex drive. Here's another one. Are herbs and other natural products useful in treating symptoms of menopause? At this time, we do not know if herbs and other natural products are safe. Studies are being done to learn more about the benefits of the risks. And there are some herbs out there that are helpful to some ladies. So, in essence, this is all that we have thus far on menopause, and there is so much out there. But again, as I say always, do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take your doctor's word for it. Take your own knowledge and look at your benefits and your risks. Definitely do your own homework. So, Vanessa, what do you have to say about menopause? I know you're nowhere near it.
Well, I don't know. It's changing every year. So, you never know where I'm at towards that whole outlook of life. But I mean, at one point, I do want to look forward to it, but then at another point, because, you know, this birth control is ridiculous. However, at another point, I'm not sure if I'm ready for all that yet. My birth control alone gives you hot flashes. I don't like it. So, so you never know. But, I mean, like I said, you know, it's just something to reach another stage of being a woman. So.
Exactly. Well, as always, it's been a pleasure talking with all of you. I am VHHughes. That's Vanessa Henderson, and this has been What's New with VHHughes. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Ho, ho, ho! You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Ho, ho, ho! You know, many find it hard to believe I own a sleigh that can fly. But you know what I find hard to believe? The unbelievable offers going on at the winter event.
The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is back with incredible offers on the sporty CLA, the thrilling C-Class, the versatile GLA, the safe and secure GLE, the innovative GLC, and of course, the unequaled E-Class. But hurry, because these sleighs are going fast. Visit MBUSA.com/winter event. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.